Heart in a Jar, which is quite significant. It's an exhibition at, quite a big exhibition really, at Greve Lecq Barracks, which is I'm here today. It's, I don't know what date it is, I haven't got a clue. It's about the 20th.
21st.
And the exhibition's on until the 30th.
Yeah.
11 o'clock till 4 o'clock, yeah. Daily. Yeah. If you're interested in anything, go and see it. Greve Lecq Barracks. I'm with an artist in the old barracks at Greve Lecq, where men used to dress up in fancy, colourful uniforms and strut around. That's all changed.
I haven't seen any of them yet, that would be really nice.
And I'm with this artist called?
My name's MacDonald.
And you've got this very interesting exhibition on, all your own work.
Yeah.
And it's a style, I mean, it's one of those things about artists, and sometimes you recognise this is of you. It screams. I don't know you, I've never met you before, but I can tell it's you. It's not borrowed from somebody else, is it?
No, it's not, no. I think that people who know me as an artist would probably say that it may be like a child, but at least it's consistently the same style.
Is this a relatively new style, or is it what you've always done?
No, I knew I was an artist when I was a child.
Right.
And I've been an artist all my life, but I've found it during that time quite difficult to make ends meet and work out what I was doing, and it's changed and reinvented itself. I've taught art quite a lot, and I've got an art degree, and I've worked a lot in textiles, worked as a cartoonist,
what sort of cartoons? Movie cartoons or static?
No, static cartoons.
Static cartoons.
I've had work in the London Cartoon Gallery,
really?
and I've done quite a lot of illustration work. Yeah, so I've done a lot over the years. I've done quite a lot of different things. But I've never had just a painting exhibition before, so this is my first painting exhibition.
And I came yesterday to sound you out, and today, and there's people around, and it seems very successful.
Yes, it's been really successful.
Most out-of-the-way place in Jersey, and they're finding you. It's remarkable.
I know, they have to set off about Monday night to get here by Friday lunchtime.
So this represents the work over what period of your life?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And I can't show, but I will try and show that one of the earliest paintings that you did is behind me. It's here, one of this series.
Yeah.
And it's noticeably, it's quite simplest. It's the simplest picture here, I think. Is that something you've been aware of? Have these become more complicated?
Well, it wasn't actually true that one painting was started and then finished.
No.
So what happened was that 2 years ago I started making the work, and all of the canvases, I mean, I did buy other canvases, so I didn't start on 48 canvases, but I started on about 20 canvases, and then I added another 5, and then I added another 5. And over the course of the next 6 months, I had 48 canvases. And when they still felt like they were moving forwards and something good was happening, I kept going with them. And I work about 4 days a week as an artist, and 3 days a week I run a company called Lecq, which is an illustration design company. So for 4 days a week, I was like, I would be there in the studio, picking up one painting, putting it down, picking up another painting. So nothing really got finished much before, a few months before the exhibition. But some paintings kind of like expanded a lot at the beginning, and then I didn't do very much on them for a while. And so, yeah, exactly what you said, the painting that you're talking about is probably one of the first, or had the most work on it done in the early days. Yeah.
After this exhibition, will you continue in this style, do you think, or is that yet for your brain to tell you?
I certainly won't carry on with this work,
no.
But it's impossible for me to paint in any other style.
Right.
I think I don't know what my next project is going to be. I've been asked to do some illustration, but I probably will do some illustration, and then a little while in the future I will start working on another body of work to have an exhibition perhaps in another couple of years.
See, they're discussing art in a peculiar sort of way in the government states today, because they had the George DeCartre what to do about statues and or memorials and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But there's always this problem, like I walk into your gallery here and I see all these paintings and I react to them and I'm pleased by what I see. But what do you want me to see? What do you want me to do?
Well, when I started making the work, it was really about my personal life experience. Right. And I think as over the course of the 2 years, it became a much more prophetic message, because I really was interested in strength and fragility and how everything's going okay and then all of a sudden it isn't going okay, and how we cope with that and what things affect us. And to be honest, I was feeling pretty fragile. I was sick and I was feeling pretty fragile, and I thought I'm going to have an exhibition. This was back in about March time, and I'm not sure if I hadn't been feeling fragile myself, I would have had enough courage to have the exhibition. So it was.
Because it's quite a lot of work to organise an exhibition.
Yeah, it is indeed. And also you have to show yourself, don't you? It's not like hides away.
Which is one of the big problems for artists, is to market themselves. They've got to do that.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem.
Yeah.
Because you get people like me come along and make stupid comments. Well, I don't want stupid comments about my work. Thank you very much indeed.
Well, I don't really mind. I don't really mind. I hope people take something away from it and realise that what I'm painting about is a universal experience, because that was the intention, that we're all fragile, we're all trying to survive, we're all trying to be mentally and physically healthy. And
has it helped you, from a health point of view, has it helped you painting this series?
I think painting on the art in my life is definitely something which I feel compelled to do at all times. And certainly when I'm being productive, I feel much, much better and happier about myself. But whether I think that this is art therapy, no, I don't think this is art therapy. I think this was me being a painter. And
I'm constantly amazed, like with music, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter how many tunes there are in the world, there's always scope for more, isn't there? And it's the same with art. It doesn't matter how many paintings or sculptures there are, there's always scope for more. And I'm amazed at the capacity of the human being to produce them and the capacity of the public to respond to them. It's never ending, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's been amazing. The response to the exhibition. I'm absolutely thrilled with that. It's been fantastic.
Why have we got this incredible need for art? Do you think? What is it? Why is it?
Well, I think it makes life worth living, doesn't it? Culture of different kinds. I mean, it definitely. Right from the very beginning, it's even cavemen and women were painting on cave walls. I think we have a real desire to create, and it comes in lots of different forms, obviously, but people have massive desire. For me, it's the reason for enjoying life, really.
When these paintings leave your possession, will you be sad when they go, or will you be glad to see the back of them?
I won't. I don't feel sad, because I'm really, really glad that they've found homes, and I will feel like, that painting, I will feel some sense of satisfaction. If they don't sell, some of them will go on my wall and some of them won't. I will put them away because I've got enough wall space apart from anything else.
Have you ever gone into a house or whatever, unknown to you, and there's one of your pictures on the wall, one of your paintings? Have you ever experienced that?
I have experienced that.
And what's that like?
I think that you feel like that one, you produced something and somebody appreciated it, and that's great. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of you in somebody else's world. It's odd, isn't it?
It is a little bit odd. Yeah.
People who come here, I don't want to talk about age groups really, but I am going to ask you, is it of a certain age of person that comes here? Do you get any youngsters coming here?
I had 2 youngsters come in this morning, but I'm guessing that it's got to be people who've got enough transport to get down to Greve to come to the exhibition. It's on the number 9 bus route.
Right.
and that bus is relatively frequent, it seems to me, but
right.
you know, you've got to be able to get here. So it is a bit out of the way, isn't it? And I always thought when I was growing up, didn't have a clue where Greve de Lecq was. So
No, that is true.
there is that feeling too. Yeah.
If you move on to other projects, because I think it's so sad because this style, I call it a style, this image, the colours are so startling. The images of, I don't know, Jesse, I must be in tune with them or something, but the colours you use, the shapes, some of it's very architectural, some, you know, the little bits here. Like there's one over there, and a friend of mine just went to Tuscany, and they brought back these fabulous photographs of Tuscany, and there's things that I can see, that, you know, those trees are Tuscan trees, you know, you sort of think about things, don't you? It stimulates the brain to think different thoughts.
Yeah, well I hope so, because that is the intention, and there are things in the paintings which are from my past,
right,
from my understanding, and from my, you know, they grew in different ways, so there definitely is.
There was a lady on the television the other night, she was told, she's been involved in road sign designs, and she was a part of a team. And there's a sign there with two children, a boy leading a girl or a girl leading a boy. And the girl is her. It's only a silhouette. You wouldn't think it was anybody. But actually it was her. She put it into... So it's little things like that.
Yeah.
You know, which you don't realise about artists. They do actually put themselves into the picture.
Oh, definitely. I think I'm all over these paintings in various different
Well, it comes out of our brain, it comes out of our arm, and it goes onto a piece of canvas or a drawing, whatever. What I notice about yours especially, there's these bottles which have a lung-like look to them. Is that coincidental?
No, it isn't really coincidental, because all the work came from a feeling of, there's some people there. Hello, it is this side. No, come in, you're very welcome.
Yeah, come in.
They all came from an experience of being at the paint clinic,
right.
And at that time I was really conscious of, not making myself healthier. So I don't think it's that coincidental that there's the symbolism of the lung. And also, as I was painting them, COVID was happening, and people were in lockdown because of COVID. So we were all thinking about how to keep healthy and to keep our lungs strong, so that we could live through the experience. So I don't think that's that.
I mean, even if you hadn't thought it, it's subliminal. We don't know what comes on our brain. It comes down our arm and it goes on the canvas or on a piece of paper. You don't know where it's come from necessarily. So me asking you where's it come from, I don't expect you to know necessarily. This is how it is with artists, isn't it?
No, I think the starting point was very well known, but as I developed it, it became a little bit more obscure. And I think over the narrative went across a lot of the canvases. So I think that there are some symbols in it which I have put across the canvases, which only when I see the collection up I can see what I was doing. There's a lot of boats, for example, in the work, and I've got a very ambiguous feeling about boats. I partly love them, and I'm absolutely terrified of them, and I get really badly seasick. So I have a complicated relationship with them, and they're there. And the little white houses, which are kind of a symbol of domestic bliss and happiness, are also. And when I was painting the houses, there's very few in the exhibition that aren't white. There was something obviously about the little white house which really somehow signifies.
Well, I've seen a lot of little white houses, and I thought to myself, well, that's sort of a symbol of Jersey, isn't it? It's so much used, that little white house.
That little white house, but it's also a symbol of happiness somehow, isn't it?
Is it?
Everything's okay. For me, anyway.
Okay. You mentioned off camera about your training. You did the course at Highlands years ago, which I was surprised to. It no longer exists. It's no longer taught.
They have the art school has courses for 16 plus, where they people who are doing the equivalent of an A level, but it's more of an art course, and also for foundation. And but they at one point they also ran a foundation degree, and then for a one-off they did a BA, and it was fabulous actually. We had some great tutors and I really enjoyed it. Lots of people will appreciate what a wonderful thing it was, but at the moment I don't think it's going on. It's probably to do with money. but it's not, I don't think it's going on at the moment.
If you have a thought on whether there is sufficient art education, sufficient encouragement for the arts generally in Jersey, is that?
Well, I think it's a lot better now. When I was growing up, it was really, there was very little, or at least if there was some, I wasn't accessing it. But now I think we're really lucky with, I mean, Art House, it's been completely fundamental in me putting this exhibition right down to the space. They've been fantastic and they've really supported me. But obviously, you know, there's lots of arts organisations, the Arts Centre, and it's so sad the Opera House at the moment is closed. But I mean, I think it's the lifeblood myself of our lives, and it's certainly the thing that makes it worth living. I'm sure that it's really, really difficult for musicians at the moment in Jersey.
It must be. I'm amazed they don't do pop-up shops with musicians in at the moment, so they could do a sort of a busking but undercover, because, you know, out in the rain, they would, just before I came, it was absolutely tipping down with rain, not a day to be busking.
Yeah.
But even busking is not a very satisfactory way of making a living, is it?
No. So I do feel for them. I mean, we're all, you know, we're striving, all of us, aren't we? But now I do feel, I mean, I am a particular advocate for younger people who are interested in arts and culture, that they stay in the island, and opportunity has to be there to keep that group of people here in the island. And I have 4 children, and all 4 of them are involved in the arts. And I know all of them have struggled with, you know, that they need the opportunities. Luckily, they've had some opportunities over here, but they need enough opportunities to actually keep them going. Well, it's not just them.
52 weeks in the year is okay. You know, you've got an exhibition here, but there's going to be a lot of, you know, you're established, so I presume you survive, but, you know, for youngsters trying to get going, or anybody who's trying to,
you have to have enough.
Van Gogh never sold a painting, so we're told, you know,
But it's always difficult, isn't it? Because there's, like, you can never really weigh up what is helpful and what isn't helpful. I mean, obviously, if you think about it in terms of you either spend money on the arts or you spend it on some, it seems like it's an either-or situation. But I always feel that culture is what makes us happy to be alive. It's just like sports facilities, and it's really important you have those as well. It's important you have a breadth of things for all different kinds of people in the island.
Yeah, indeed. If you get commissions from this exhibition, are you happy to receive commissions? Or what sort of commissions would you be interested in receiving?
I don't think I am happy to receive painting commissions, no, because I just want to do my own thing.
Do your own thing?
Yeah. And I think if somebody said to me, I really love this painting, but it's not the right size, I would struggle to fulfill that. So no, I don't think I do want commissions. I'm a bit long in the tooth for commissions, but what I would really like is for people to come up and buy what's here.
I saw the film Frida the other day, where the partner of Frida had this huge mural for New York, all the bankers.
Well, that'd be all right. I wouldn't mind taking a mural.
Really? Okay.
Well, I don't know whether I would. Maybe I would.
Well, they didn't agree with his politics, so he had to demolish it. They didn't, because he had a picture of Lenin on there. I think they didn't like that. So that was
I'm not to be trusted either with my...
Well, it's been fabulous talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Really like the exhibition. Keep painting, keep doing something, keep creating.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. This is in my interview with the artist. This was one of the early paintings of the series, and it has a simplicity about it. And as the series, if it is a series, I mean, obviously they were methodically painted, I feel sure, one after the other, but it's quite simple. Some of the others are very complex. You see, they're quite fascinating. And as the artist explains, there's a bit of a relationship with ships, boats, all sorts of things. Obviously, it's an artist, isn't it? This is one like Hunters in the Snow. This is a Bruegel painting in the corner. I feel sure there's a Bruegel coming out here. I don't know why it is. For some reason, because it's low-key colour, it's even more dramatic against the others, because you've got all the colour of the others. For some reason, I don't know why, it's very dramatic. It's got a coolness about it. I don't know what the caption actually says about it. The snow has fallen and we are becoming accustomed to the chill. Well, It is so. Yes, it's a fascinating exhibition.